Today, I just took this trade right here. Um, I didn't get a live execution for y'all because really wasn't expecting to trade today because we have no news. We had no news today. Oh wait, no, this is the wrong day. We had no news today, so I really wasn't expecting to trade. But market opened with a 100 point candle to the downside, and then put in a bullish SMT and just started just displacing higher. Like, bro, 100 point candle to the downside. I was like, all right, I'm gonna trade it, but my rule for myself is on days where they're not high probable and we don't have a lot of news or like high impact news in the markets. I don't I don't trade with full size, so I went down to five micros, and I took this trade right here uh for $300. You know, it was a really simple trade, so I'm gonna just do a trade breakdown for y'all since I didn't get the live execution today. Um, so yeah, let's just go back to what I seen at market open. All right, so boom. So looking at this, we're in a true downtrend, right? But in the current trend we're in a downtrend. But if you look over here, we're in an uptrend, right? So I'm waiting to see at market open what happens. So market opens up. We get a 100 point candle to the downside, taking out this draw, right? But ES does not take the draw over here, right? And then price starts to reverse, putting in a bullish SMT, and we get true displacement. With this type of candle, if we're bearish, we're gonna continue to keep going lower, right? So for us to continue to disrespect this candle and continue to um, go past this candle without any type of respect to the downside and true displacement off of this bullish SMT. I was bullish on the day, and then we had draws of liquidity here, and then we had a 15-minute draw of liquidity at this white line right here, right? So, and then just for a refresher, a bullish SMT is anytime you see this on the chart, right? You see, I'm not trying to, you see, you see how this low and this low, like the price on NQ has came lower than this previous low right here, right? But on ES, we are above it. And you see how the trend line is pointing down and this trend line is pointing up. So anytime you get an imbalance in price like this at the lows of price, that's called a bullish SMT. So right here, and then this is a bearish SMT. So bullish, think of bullish and bearish as the way that a bull or a bear will strike, right? So a bear is gonna strike you with his paw going down, clawing you down. So that's downside. Bearish is downside. Bulls, they hit you up with their head. They're gonna hit you with their horns going up. So that's why traders call it bullish and bearish, right? So this is a bearish SMT. We have an imbalance at the highs, right? So at the highs, this is a bearish SMT. You see how this line is pointing up and then this line is pointing down at these highs? That's a bearish SMT. So this bearish SMT has delivered us to these lows, and now this bullish SMT is delivering us higher, right? So when we put in this bullish SMT, my expectation is that we continue higher to the next draw of liquidity, right? So for me, the next internal draw of liquidity is at this swing high right here. At this swing high right here. Okay. So once we take this high, we put in a bearish SMT. Another bearish SMT. Right? So this high and this high is going down, and then this high and this high is going up, and that's a bearish SMT. Anytime it's at the highs, cool. So I wanted this is I got on the charts probably like 2 minutes after this, so I probably got on the charts around like 9:36 because I wasn't expecting the trade today. So this next candle, okay, so in the live markets, this candle was going printing to the downside and then it flipped, right? So really, I could have entered, like if I was on the charts, I would have took this trade because this is telling me that this bearish SMT is not gonna hold, right? And we want to continue to see higher. So as soon as this flipped like that, I could have took this trade right here to these highs, right? And then that would have smacked. That would have smacked TP. Cool. All right. So now in my head, I'm thinking, okay, bearish SMTs are not delivering us lower right now, so we must want draws of liquidity that are higher, right? So now we put in another bearish SMT, and if that is true, I'm gonna take my trade to this next draw of liquidity. So as y'all see over here on ES or the S&P 500, we take out this draw of liquidity on this candle, and then we rebalance it with a bearish closure candle, right? So that all that means is the candle closed bearish, right? As y'all see, is it's gray instead of white. So this is a bearish candle, right? Rebalancing this true displacement. So in my head, I'm thinking, okay, we just put in this bearish SMT right here, right? Bearish SMT with this high, and then this high, and this high, right? See how this is pointing up and this is pointing down at the highs. This is a bearish SMT. So with me knowing that the bearish SMT previously did not hold, I'm expecting for this one not to hold and for us to continue to go higher, telling us that we want draws of liquidity higher, right? And also, we are in prime OTE. OTE is optimal trade execution or something like that. But in this Fibonacci tool that I pull out, we are in the zone where we could be getting shorts, right? So for this next candle to not deliver, this is telling me that we're disrespecting OTE, we're disrespecting the bearish SMT, and we want to continue to see higher draws of liquidity, right? And this bullish SMT at this low is delivering us higher with speed and efficiency, right? So we put in this bearish SMT. If this does not hold and take us lower, I'm longing it. Right here is where I took my trade. So this next candle, true displacement higher. And I took my trade right here. And I had my stop loss tight like that. And my take profit was 30 points. So this was like the trade that I took. And I smacked TP in 1 minute. And I hit for 300 today. Just because of my rules, I don't go full size on low prob days, even though this day was like delivering really well. I'm just cautious of doing that because at the end of the day, it is a low news day. So I just go half size and take what I could get, right? So this is the trade that I took. Yeah, so that's pretty much the trade breakdown, and then for the rest, we just continue to keep going higher after that. So yeah, that's pretty much the trade I took. Really simple, really easy trade. In here, I feel like y'all don't understand the bearish SMT. So I'm gonna see what Google, like if there's a better way that Google. Okay, so a bearish SMT, smart money technique. A divergence is a technical analysis signal indicating that buying momentum is exhausted and a downward reversal is likely. It occurs when one asset, such as ES or the S&P 500, makes a higher high but a correlated asset such as NQ fails to confirm with a corresponding high. This breakdown is correlation. This this breakdown and correlation suggests that institutional traders are distributing selling positions. Excuse my reading, bro. It's 9 in the morning, bro. But this is basically what it looks like I showed y'all, right? So we get a higher high and higher a higher high and a lower high. So it's one is going up, one is going down. You see what I'm saying? So same way for a bullish SMT, right? At the lows, right? So we got a lower low. Well, this is not a bullish SMT. Right here. This is a bullish SMT. And we get this lower low and then a lower low with a higher low. When one is going up and one is pointing down and one is pointing up. That's what a bullish SMT is. And this is something that I use as a confluence for my trades a lot because it tells me, what the institutional traders are trying to do. And it's actually a form of manipulation, right? So people that are entering this trade right here on ES, right? So they see this crazy candle to the downside. They're going to enter their trade, say, right here. And they put their stop losses here. And they're expecting for price to deliver to this low. See, on NQ, we deliver to that low. But on ES, we don't deliver to that low. And then we go back and stop them out of their trade. These SMTs are a form of manipulation to traders, right? So they tell us a lot about, what's going on in the market. So, and then we put in these equal highs, bro. We had all these equal highs. It was so clear to take that out. But yeah, so that's my trade breakdown, and that's an explanation of bullish and bearish SMTs and how I use it for my strategy and stuff like that. So, you know what I'm saying? If y'all have any more questions, hit me up on Instagram or leave a question in the comments, and I'll answer y'all question. I'll probably put it in the next video if everybody has the same question. So, appreciate y'all for watching. We're going to come back with some more vids throughout this week. Appreciate y'all.